Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. Today we're beginning a beaded curtain project. Here I have a tension rod. As this rod does not come apart in the center, I'm going to be making my topper so that it fits over the end. Most curtain rods with large ends will open up in the center, so you just need to make your curtain topper big enough to go around the rod itself. For my top, I'm going to be using light sapphire, which is number 19 in the plastic faceted beads. And this pattern I have created is just a plain one color pattern. Here you'll see that these beads are done slightly differently. That's because these ones are shared. They're the same bead, which I'll show you how to do that when we get to that part. And the center here shows that you just continue until it's the length you need your piece to be. So let's begin. We are going to be using the one needle or string stitch. So I have my tape on one end, and we will begin by adding to the other end. So we'll start here, and we will add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads to our string. Let those come down to where our tape is. Then we'll go through the first one away from the tape. And then we'll repeat this next step until we have the length we need. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll add 5 beads. Now if you had a pattern, you do each circle slightly differently, but we are just using one color here, so it doesn't matter on here which direction you write your numbers because you're just adding the same colors. Now we want to come back, get down here, so we'll go back through the first 3 beads we added. Then we'll repeat that until we have about 5 rings, and then we'll see how it fits over our curtain rod end. Remember, you always go through the last bead on your previous circle, making sure your string is coming out the same side as it already is coming out. And then you string through the first 3 beads again. Alright, that gives us about 5 circles, so we will check, see how far around the end it will go. Alright, I'm going to do 2 more circles. So 1 circle, I'll do the same as I've done all the others, which will be this circle here. 1, 2, 4, 5. Alright, now this one, we're adding the 5 beads. But you can see we only need to go 1, 2 beads to get ready for the next circle. So we just want to go through 2 of the first beads instead of 3 this time. Now, like I said, if this had a pattern to it, you'd have to see where you were in your pattern to see if you were coming out this way, then you'd have to come around more. But as we're doing all one solid color, we just need to go through 2. We'll go through 2 and get us in place for the next row, and then we'll check, make sure that we go around. And we do, so we're good for our rod end, and we will add our next row. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, come to think of, wait, no, we wouldn't have been able to do that differently. Alright, so we will add our 5. And this bead here where our string is coming out of, we want to go through it so our string is coming out the same direction. And now we want to be in this bottom bead here, so we're going to bead all the way around so that we're coming out this bottom bead. And we'll go through the 2 side beads. And then we're going to be adding 1, 2, 3. And we'll continue that until we get to the last circle for this row. add your 3 beads. Then you want to go through the bottom bead of the previous circle, the 2 side beads for this circle, and then the next 2 side beads. Alright, we're coming up on where our tape is, so it'll be easy to go ahead and get rid of it. So let's slide it off. And then we're going to do a figure 8, coming up, down, and around. Actually, with this, I'm going to go ahead and do a 3rd one also. And then go back the direction we came from. Alright, now we're back where we started, so we can clip off our excess. So that was going through 3 circles. We went up, and then you came back down, and that secures your string. Now we will continue. And now we are at this point here adding our second to last circle. Now we just go through one bead because it's our last side bead. We don't want to ever go through the end bead of the previous row, just the side beads. And we want to remember that this one here is the same bead as this one here. So we're going to add one, then we're going to go through this one, and then we're going to add 2, 3. So we'll add a bead, then we'll go through the end bead, making sure that we're going through from the correct side. And then we will add our next 2 beads. And we will go through the end of the previous circle, and then through we want to end over here, so we're going to go around, go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the circle beads of this circle. Alright, now we also want to go through this next bead here on the next circle. And that's one bead on the circle below the circle we just added. And that gets us ready to add this next circle, which we will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, our string is coming out of this bead. We want to go through the bead that is back one from it. So you want the bead that is on the opposite side of where your string is coming out. There you have your circle. Now you go through your 2 side beads. And you will add your beads 1, 2, 3, and continue that until you come to the second to last circle. keep track of where you are. Just compare to the opposite side. So you have one circle left at this point. So I've added this one, and we're going to add these here. We're going to be adding the same number of beads, just the last little part we will do slightly differently. We'll add our 3 beads. Go through the top last one of the previous circle, and then we'll go through the 2 side beads of this circle, and we want to come out this shared bead right here. So we'll go through 1, 2, and we have our string right where we want it, and we have enough left over that we can use it to start our strand. So we'll leave it hanging right there for now, and there is the beginning of the top of your curtain.